Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another adventure. And as you can see, we are going to start this one out with a nice little surprise. The beautiful and very rare Antonov 124 graced us with her presence. I managed to head over prior to my shift starting and just to admire this beauty. Now, I have seen it on plenty of other occasions, but this time it was really special because I asked the crew if I can go look inside, and they were very kind. They let me go and enjoy the interior. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to go upstairs. This is incredible. This was an incredible experience. Now, I'm not very educated about this aircraft, so I don't know much about it besides what I read online. The one thing I do know is why this thing was here. It was transporting a satellite from Boeing. I guess they needed to transport it for launch. Well, it's always a pleasure to see this beauty. Hopefully next time it stops by, I can get a chance to see the flight deck as well. But without further ado, let the shift begin. As usual, taking you through the daily routines of aircraft maintenance. I'm going to show you a couple of fixes, a couple of interesting problems we ran into. So sit back and enjoy the show. This one just needed a little bit of oil, that's it. And then this goes to the barn, but we got another 777 coming, and that one will go to the other side, to gate 41. That one's gonna be our E-tops. This one is just gonna stay overnight. So I'm gonna put the oils in the logbook and wait for the other one. The other one should be here soon. I'd say around about 45 minutes or so. So far, so good. Beautiful day. Here we are. Everything's in the book already. And they'll come take it off the gate here in a bit. Yeah. Parameters looking good. This is a healthy airplane. Good. Oh yeah, don't forget. Check the fidget spinner. Alright, let's get out of here. Our next one will be here soon. Nothing much I can tell you in here. I think I already talked about a lot of things here. Here, take a screenshot. Nice screensaver. There it is. That's a beautiful sunset. Let's go to the parameters, the usual. Let's see. Engine generators and backup generators, good, normal. Let's go check out hydraulics. Oh, you know what? We might need to service hydraulics just a bit. That's right below the limits. Yeah, I'm gonna service that. That's supposed to read 0.9 or above. 0.9 or above, so like that. So anything below 0.9, we got to service for an ETOPS check. And yes, hydraulics are running right now because my partner's doing a walk around. Well, yeah, we'll take care of that. That's not a big deal. Well, at least tire pressures are reading good. That's good. I finished up the interior, took a nice little stroll to the catering truck to get a nice little view of the tail right there. Then went downstairs to get the equipment for the hydraulic servicing and realized the Bowser was empty. So we got to reservice the Bowser in order to service the airplane. Let's go. Keep this out of your eyes, kids. It will hurt. I'll spare your ears because the air conditioning system is going, the PAX, so it's very loud. Just like I said, you select the system you want to service through that little turn knob and then connect the Bowser fitting to that little joint right there. Make sure to put a rag right there because you don't want any kind of skydroll spilling down below. Make sure that's nice and tight and secure, and then we begin pumping. Since I'm already here, it just makes sense to top off all three systems. That's exactly what I did. That I have said, and I'm going to mention again, this is a normal thing. Aircraft fluids, hydraulic fluid, seeps out time to time. Hydraulic fluid usually goes to actuators. Actuators have seals. These systems are running on 3000 psi. The aircraft also experiences a multitude of changes within pressure and temperature. Seals expand, they contract, and sometimes you get seepage. But this is why we're here. We monitor this stuff. can't clean this up right now. I don't have the time. Next time. All right, that's servicing hydraulics. Perfect. All done. Off to London with this one. The following day was not very eventful, not much happened. I had a few gate calls and the regular morning wake-up checks. I did catch a couple of nice airplanes taxiing by and taking off. Oh, I did manage to capture one thing. There was a 321 that came in. The mid-lavatory sink was clogged up. I'm gonna go change a filter on that one. Let's deal with the clog. Yay! Sorry, got this little tool. Pull that out, I'm going to clean that out as well. But the important thing is the filter. That. Lovely. Usually I can clean that out, but I don't have the time. So, what I'm gonna do is just gonna put a brand new filter in there. There. That will go into recycling, or I'll just go clean it out and use it as a spare, and I'll clean this out. Done. Clog gone. Easy. I find it quite ironic that Alaska prides itself as a purely Boeing fleet because they have a fleet of 737 and soon to be having 787s. They even went to the extent of selling off all of their Airbuses that they acquired when they merged with Virgin America. But with this new merger with Hawaiian and Alaska, guess what happened? Now they got another Airbus fleet, a fleet of 330s, a brand new fleet of A321neos. So basically what I'm saying is that they are back right where they started. They should have never sold their Airbus fleet from the get-go. Guess who owns them now? That's right, they're my babies. Anyway, on to the next day. Good morning! Look at that. Woo! Almost nothing left. They're almost done. Okay, let's go. This one just got done, right started. Flight crews are already here. We are on standby, waiting around. Hurry up and wait. This one's going to JFK. Let's go. So this is a V2500 engine equipped on an Airbus 321. And if you're wondering what that little grill is, that is called the ACOC, air-cooled oil cooler. Its primary purpose is to cool down the oil. It's mounted on the side of the engine case and it goes all the way into the high bypass. It will take that high bypass cold air, push it through a radiator, and it will push the hot air overboard. The hot oil is what's flowing through the radiator, and then the cold air from the high bypass is what's cooling it. It works exactly like your car radiator. Not the only thing that's cooling oil. There's another little unit called the FCOC, the fuel cooled oil cooler. The FCOC is located on the other side of the engine. As the name states, it's using the cold fuel to cool down the oil without intermixing the fluids, obviously. There it is right there. That's the FCOC. And if you are interested in the whole oil system of this engine, here you go. Nice little diagram for you. Feel free to pause and inspect it. As you can see, oil is being distributed to vital components of that engine, especially the bearings. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, but feel free to leave your questions in the comments. So somebody asked one time on these particular slides, the ones that are not inside the door, these particular slides, they live in that little unit right there. Now look closely. Okay, so those little pins that you saw there, those actually pop out to pop that door open. The reason why it says don't paint is because you don't want to obstruct those little pins to prevent that door from not opening. So those pins will pop open, it'll blast that door open, and then the slide will unravel and inflate. The regular slides on doors like this, the slide is actually attached to the door itself. Yeah, that's all. This one's almost ready to go. Matter of fact, here's a really cool video for you. This is made by a colleague of mine. Time to time, we have to randomly test slides. What that means is we have to purposely deploy one. And trust me, it's the most awkward feeling in the world. We are trained not to deploy slides. This is mandated by the FAA and the manufacturer. It will select a random aircraft, will select a random door, and they will tell us, go deploy a slide. This is to make sure that the slides are properly installed and working correctly. After which, we will install a brand new slide, obviously. The deployed one will go back to the vendor to repack. And by the way, this is my colleague. He's an excellent friend and an excellent technician. You can find him on Instagram. Go give him a follow. He's a great guy. Okay, another Airbus. This one just came up from the barn, from the hangar. And this one's gonna go out to Philly, I think. Yeah. Make sure everything's okay. All the big pieces are hanging. Do a quick little walk around, go inside, power it up. The usual. Nice healthy brakes and tires. Nice. So this is a CFM Leap 1A equipped on one of our 321 Neos, and one common write-up I always get, and it's just people don't know, or it looks weird. Pilots usually write this up and they think it's some kind of a latch that's popped open. By the way, this is the access panel to get to the engine fire bottles. There's two of them that live in here. One is in here, one is in here. This is what a fire bottle looks like. And yes, I know it says cargo fire bottle, but all the bottles look the same. It has two squibs, which is basically a tiny shotgun shell or explosive device. If the aircraft has experienced any kind of overheat or fire detection, pilots or maintenance can pull the fire handle or push button if it's an Airbus and engage the agent. Agent being blowing the fire bottles. Explosive device will engage, it will rupture a fusible disc inside, and Halon 1301 will extinguish the flame. They're just big bottles for the extinguishing bottles. I believe it's Halon 1301. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, they always write this up. They think it's some kind of a latch or a panel that's popping out. It's not. It's actually an air vent. It's a scoop. Just cools down the compartment. But yeah, it's a solid piece of metal, as you can see. It just goes in and air gets circulated inside. Yeah, guys, don't write this up. There's nothing wrong with it. That's exactly how it's supposed to look. Yeah. There's another panel like this on the other side, but the other one doesn't have that little vent. Here's what the other side looks like. Once again, circular panel, but this one doesn't have it. So yeah, we open these panels to get access to the fire bottles. You have to change them or weigh them. Sometimes change out the squibs because those things are shelf limited items. But yeah, here's the other side. See, as you can see right there. Looks like a little latch, but it's not. It's just part of the panel. Anyway, that's it. Let's go inside. Make sure everything's okay. Here we go. All is good. Yeah, it's been cleaned up. Oh, it looks like they even catered it already. Very nice. Let's see now. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Low on fuel. Don't worry, they're going to fuel this up. Yeah. You know, there's actually a minimum of how much fuel that you're allowed to have or supposed to have to run engines. So yeah, but yeah, don't worry, this is probably set last night, probably ran the APU, that's why it looks like this, but they're gonna refuel it here pretty soon and that message will go away. But overall, everything's looking good. Hydraulics good, doors, oxygen is full, nice. I like that. Engine, if you want to check engine oils, we have to turn on the FADEX. Good, very good. I'll just go walk through the cabin and check out, make sure everything's okay here. But overall, looking good. Christmas tree. It's a light test. Duh. Looking good. Ah, this thing again. That's funny. Every single time. Somebody always hits their head up here a little too hard. Coming up, this one's okay. This is a cool part about airplanes. Everything is a modular. Turn the lights on so we can see. That's it. Easy. Okay, now we wait. I try to do as much as possible to prevent any kind of last-minute delay or a gate call. It means attention to detail. Even the smallest things can create a delay. For example, right here, the ACARS paper. It was running low. Might as well change it right here, right now. ACARS is standing for Aircraft Communication Addressing and Reporting System. This is the aircraft's printer. Now, the ACARS system itself is communicating through usually VHF-3 or satellite communication. It sends and receives messages, basically some kind of an email or a text message service for the airplane. But the aircraft also have printers, which are capable of printing out the solid copy of it. You can print out pretty much anything that's in the MCDU. Maintenance can utilize this to get a hard copy of the data that the airplane is providing for us. Pilots can do the same when they want to pull up a physical copy of their ATIS report. ATIS being the Automatic Terminal Information Service. It's like a continuous broadcast of what's going on at the airport that you're at. Weather, runway, all sorts of fun stuff. But long story short, why give the pilot more work to do? Might as well change it before they even get there. Perfect. And we'll do a quick little walk through the cabin, make sure everything's okay. Actually in a nice condition. They cleaned it really nice. Sure. Emergency equipment is good. Fabric came out a bit. Don't worry, I'm going to tuck that in. Finish the walk around first and then we'll come back to this. My attention to detail does not just stop at the flight deck or the outside. My attention to detail also extends out to the cabin because I care about my passengers. Why do I say that? It's not just a paycheck for me because I also am a passenger. I also fly on these airplanes. I put my friends and families on these airplanes. Every airplane I touch is an extension of me. It's an extension of my craft, of my due diligence of doing my job correctly. To my younger generation, that's a lesson to be learned. That's called taking pride in your work. Don't just look at this job as a paycheck. Look at it as an opportunity to better yourself, an opportunity to put something out there in the world. I was lucky enough to be taught by some really good senior technicians back in the days. They instilled in me a sense of professionalism, honoring what came before me, upholding my oath, and passing down the information to the younger generation. My old crew chief pulled me aside one day and said something that I'll never forget. He said, "Don't forget, you're an aircraft mechanic. You save the world every single day, one airplane at a time." I think about that and it makes me smile every single time. Anyway, let's get back to work. I'm rambling. That's the vacuum generator that you're hearing. It's pulling the waste into the tank. Come on, finish. So after about 16,000 feet while you're flying, that thing is going to stop working because now you're going to have differential air pressure that's pulling the waste from the toilet. But yeah. All right, we'll finish this up. I won't bore you with this. That's right, another tire change. At this point, I think I've shown so many tire changes that you guys can do this blindfolded. I'm just joking, I'm just joking. Actually, on this particular job, I wasn't even doing the tire change itself. I was more of an assistant. I was gathering all the tooling, all the parts, doing all the paperwork. Basically, I was doing the logistical portion of it. When it comes to aircraft maintenance, we work as a team, especially when it comes down to jobs like this. Not only did we have to change a tire, we had 2 other individuals that were working on an ETOS because this thing was going to go out to Hawaii.
If anything, just put them on a rag and spread it.
Yeah.
That's it! Easy!
Here comes the next office. Let's see, beautiful 777. This is coming from Dallas and we got the E-tops on it. It's going to go out later tonight to Heathrow. The partner's going to take care of the engine oils and upstairs, and I'm going to do the outside and the cargoes. Let's go! Should be fun. No inbounds yet. We'll go check the book. Lovely. Look at all these patches right here. Oh man, that's some nice work right there. That's some beautiful sheet metal work. Nice. Got some nice healthy brakes and tires. Very good. The other thing we're looking for here is in case any kind of hydraulic leaks, so paying attention to the hydraulic area, well, not the hydraulic area, where the pressure line goes to. And also paying attention to the rest of the line, because remember, when the gear goes up and down, all these things move just slightly, so they do sometimes have a tendency to chafe. So just pay attention to the hoses, make sure there's no markings, no damage to them. But yeah. But overall, looking good. As you can see, there's lots of rinse and repeat when it comes down to the type of work that I do. It's again another ETOPS check, and this one also needed some hydraulic servicing. The aircraft was pretty much ready to go. This was a Heathrow flight, and something very particular happened and very interesting. This goes back to the mention of attention to detail. And it's not only from the aircraft maintenance standpoint, it's also from the pilot standpoint. All right, let's see. Beautiful. And everything else looks good. Hydraulics are good. They're good now. Row 2 is good. We're happy. My partner already double checked all the rest of the parameters. This thing's ready to go. Didn't even come in with any inbound items. Love it. Good. The fidget spinner. My apologies on this. This is probably the worst freeze frame ever in history, but don't worry, I got a good screenshot. There is a problem here on the mode control panel. Problem is on the EIS mock display. Let's take a closer look. Before we dive into the issue and I show you what actually is wrong with it, which I think most of you already see it here, let's talk about what the mode control panel is for. You see, after the aircraft takes off, pilots put the aircraft into autopilot. They are no longer manipulating the controls, as in stick and rudder. What pilots are doing at this point is twisting these knobs, adjusting either their speeds, their heading, their altitude. That is all controlled by the MCP. They will input the specific parameters and the computer will fly the airplane. At this point, pilots are monitoring all the systems of the aircraft and making sure they're putting in the correct inputs. Pilots only really fly during takeoff and landing. After a certain altitude, all they're doing is manipulating these switches. But trust me, that doesn't mean pilots are just sitting around doing nothing. They are pretty busy. They're, again, monitoring the aircraft systems, also looking at the radio communication and navigation. They are very busy people when they're flying. Okay, that being said, now let's focus on the issue. We are focusing on is the IAS and the Mach reading. Look closely right at the decimal point of where it says Mach. And just to tell you, the panel right now is in test mode. There it is. You see it? The small LCD display panel has a bleed through or a dead pixel. Once again, pilots are using this to set the speed of the aircraft. Now, the speed of the aircraft can be measured in two ways, knots and Mach. After a certain speed, to be specific 399 knots, it will convert into Mach, and that's where the decimal point will show up. Then a little button to switch it. When the captain was doing his pre-flight, he noticed that white little dot, and he thought that was the decimal point. And trust me when I tell you, that's an excellent catch. Aircraft is on the ground, it's not moving. That decimal point should not be there. When they called us up, we were even confused. They're looking at it closer and closer, even running through the MCP tests. All the tests were passing. The assumption in the back of my mind was maybe something's wrong with the actual LCD panel, the little display. So I reached up and hit the light test switch, which illuminates pretty much everything. And there it was, the little culprit. At this point, we were eating a massive delay because the test itself is a pretty lengthy test. Dispatch decided to swap metal because we had a spare 777. Pilots packed up all their things and moved on to the spare aircraft. Believe it or not, this is actually a deferrable item, but the decision was made to let this aircraft stay overnight. That whole MCP panel has to be changed out. What can I say? This was a very interesting and unique find. It's a bit funny to me how a small little decimal point or a phantom bleed-through LCD panel can cause such a problem. But like I said, the passengers did go out, a bit of a delay, but they still went out. Okay, that's it for this. On to the next day. Good morning. Welcome back. One more day. Let's begin. Let's go. Starting out with another Airbus. I know it's been an Airbus kind of week. It is what it is. Let's check the self-destruct button. No, I'm just joking. It's for a jack pad plate. When we want to jack the airplane up, we usually use 3 jacks, one at the nose, one at each wing root, and this is for the nose area. We'll install a jack pad plate right here. We'll have like a little ball, and the jack itself will come up, hug that ball, and we can lift the nose of the aircraft up for gear swings or any other kind of maintenance. There you go. It's gonna be a lovely day. Here's what the jack pad looks like with the jack attached to it, and this is what a gear swing looks like. Speaking of nose gears, let's go take a look at a 737 because we had an issue with the strut. Yeah, there's a little bit of chrome showing, but not very little. Very little. Yeah, it just needs to get serviced out. Yeah. Okay, don't panic. This happens time to time. When the aircraft came up to the gate, it was not as heavy, so the strut is not taking as much of compression. As the aircraft got loaded up with fuel, luggage, and passengers, the strut began to compress. We noticed this on the walk around. Struts are considered oleo, air and oil struts. Oil at the bottom, air on top. Well, nitrogen, I should say. We knew this was not an oil leak because we would have seen a big mess at the bottom of the strut. This was nitrogen that got seeped out. The procedure here, per the maintenance manual, is to service up the strut and see if there's any kind of active leak. Because if it didn't hold pressure, that means we know the internal seals are not holding. We will use this chart right here, but this one's just for reference. We're actually using our maintenance manual, which is on our tablets. We will determine how much pressure is within the strut. We'll measure out what we call dimension X, which is from the upper plate right underneath the steering actuators down to the knuckle where the tow bar attaches. Then we will begin to service the strut with nitrogen, and it has to fall within that white band right there. As mentioned earlier, we are looking for an active leak, so if it's not holding pressure and it deflates right away, that airplane's not going anywhere. But luckily, it held pressure. But trust me, it doesn't stop there. The unit or the aircraft gets put on a monitoring system. Just because we serviced it up, we don't just call it a day and say good to go. We document all of this, and it's going to have a repetitive re-inspection. Reasoning for that is to make sure that it's not even a slow leak. So pretty much every station is going to be looking at this. Also, we double check the history of the aircraft. If it has a continuous problem or a history of servicing, that means we know we have to take this airplane out of service. But this one did not. So we service it up and put it on a monitoring system. And there it goes, going up. There we go. Just a little bit. Right there, that's it. That's it.
Okay, that's it.
Perfect.
Okay, everybody good. We're good. I'm closing it. Yeah, I'm hooking everything.
And that's that. Pretty simple. Anyway, the servicing port is right on top. It's where we attach the nitrogen hose, and right at the bottom there's a Schrader valve. Schrader valve is what actually we open up to allow air to go in or out. The rest of it is documentation and paperwork. Fun. And there you go. Serviced strut, all good to go. But this isn't the end. Now this gets placed on a monitoring system and it's going to get re-inspected just in case there was a continuous leak. At that point, the aircraft will get grounded and a full strut service will be needed. But sometimes air pressure does leak out and it will basically bottom out. So we service, we let it go, and replace it. Sorry about that, I'm repeating myself over here, but just to let you guys know, an airplane can land on a bottomed out strut. Just not going to be as smooth as you would want it to be. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Next one, again, another very interesting and a very unique and rare thing that happened. It's going to be another 737, but this time it was a slat issue. So let's provide you with a little bit of context here. When an airplane takes off, your flaps are in configuration. That means your flaps and slats are down. In this particular scenario, the pilot takes off as normal, begins to retract the flaps. As they were retracting the flaps, they got an indication, a warning that your leading edge is still in transition. To be specific, the number 8 slat. Number 8 slat is on the leading edge, right wing, most outboard one. The pilot's initial actions are always going to go through the QRH, going through their checklists. They also get to contact company and let them know what's going on. You can do this in flight. The pilots went through their procedure and they cycled the flaps down and up just to make sure it's not some kind of an erroneous fault. Now, here's the interesting part. The slats were properly going up and down, no issues there, but the fault still persisted. kept telling the pilots that the leading edge is still in transition. At that point, pilots decided to return. Aircraft came up to the gate and we began to troubleshoot. First thing we do, we go downstairs to the computer box and do a bite check, built-in test equipment. And sure enough, it was giving us the fault. At that point, I said, okay, we actually need to go take a look at the slat itself, so let's drop it to degree 1, which will extend the slats, put a ladder up there, and guess what we found? Right there, that's the troublemaker. The proximity sensor. All of these flaps and slats have proximity sensors to let the pilots know what position these flight control surfaces are in. The number 8 slat proximity sensor bracket had broken off, was not reaching its target. And that's why the airplane was detecting that the slat is still in transition. Even though the slat was fully retracted, since the proximity sensor is not touching its target, it's going to send out the fault. And this is what it's supposed to look like. The white little plate is the target, and you see the proximity sensor to the left. Like I said, this is something really unusual and very rare. Believe it or not, the airplane was doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, this aircraft had to get grounded. It will be taken to the hangar, and they will replace that bracket. What can I say? You can't win them all. The rest of this video is going to be brake riding, so if you do enjoy that, stick around. Okay, we're back to moving airplanes. Let's go. Get this all set up. That's one of our T models. Nice. This one just came from Boston. Yeah. I always like these. Very comfortable airplane. Yeah, all right. Let's go get this thing set up and move this beautiful bird. Everything is good. Set it up. I called to get the jumpers moved and wait for the tow team. Turned out to be a beautiful day.
American 48 Charlie, ready to proceed?
American 48 Charlie, proceed to Charlie to Charlie 5.
Charlie 5, American 48 Charlie.
Straight shot. Charlie 5.
Ground American 2944, crossing 25 right at Juliet for 46 Charlie.
American 2944, like ground taxi via Bravo Charlie 9 to the ramp.
Bravo Charlie 9 to the ramp, 2944, thanks. American 2038, monitor tower.
Monitor tower, American 2038.
A little bit of a bumpy ride, huh? We are currently doing 17 knots ground speed. That's why I keep the adderus aligned. You can see the ground speed.
Ground 585, we're clearing at Alpha 7, making the left onto Alpha for signature.
585, LA ground taxi to Alpha signature.
Alpha to signature, 585.
So, notice he turned a little bit right here because there's a huge bump right there.
JetBlue 924, when you're short of Yankee, if you'd like, you could shut down. Be ready to taxi at 2315.
Alright, we can shut down at holding short of Yankee and be ready to go at 2315, JetBlue 924.
Hey, look at that little thing.
Line 10 heavy with you, South Moon, checkpoint 2.
Line 10 heavy, LA ground taxi via Bravo Charlie 8 to the gate.
Bravo Charlie 8 to the gate, line 10 heavy.
Surf Air. That's a nice looking airplane right there. This area is called the Eagle's Nest. This is where the regionals fly out of. You have to be bussed in here from Terminal 4 and 5.
Ground Scout 5411, Charlie 6 with Mike ready taxi.
Scout 5411, LA ground, we're 25 right, taxi via Bravo.
25 right via Bravo, Scout.
Scout 5411, monitor tower.
I grounded on 378 on Juliet for 83.
Yeah, 378, LA ground, taxi via Bravo Charlie 6 to the ramp.
Yeah, look at that.
Bravo Charlie 6 United.
They're changing tires right there. Heavy hitters. Looks like a double tire change.
Three on Papa, gonna hold short Charlie. Approaching checkpoint 2.
We're gonna fly 103, LA ground, turn right on Bravo, hold short of Quebec.
Right on, Bravo, we'll hold short. Stay back. Bear gun flight 103.
There you go, boys. You got it.
Ground flight, set brakes.
Brakes are set. Thank you very much, man.
Brakes and copy there. Have a good day, man.
All right, that's that. Let's see now. Hydraulics off, beacon off, emergency lights off, adderus off, lead off. Ding. That's normal. And that's it. Wait for the shutdown, and then the battery's offline. It's gonna take a second. He's got to cool down. I had the packs running. And that's it. Off to the next one. I think we got a 737 next. Go for another ride. Oh my god, the most awkward door to open and close.
If you are sitting in an exit seat, please review the safety card in the seat pocket.
Why do you always do that to me? Heart attack. All right, let's set this up. Wait for the tow crew. They'll be here in a second, and we'll go. And you know what? I haven't done this in a long time. Too close for missiles. Switching to guns. I love that. All right, let's go. Alrighty, brakes are off.
Brakes off.
Let's go. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Don't worry, that's just my water bottle. Now let's put this away.
Swiss 41 Golf Heavy, runway 25 right, taxi via Charlie 10 to Bravo.
Via Charlie 10 to Bravo for runway 25 right, Swiss 41 Golf. Okay, with 5066,
Okay, with 5066, runway 25 right, taxi via Bravo.
5 right via Bravo. Thank you.
Okay, with 4793, are you cleared on after 1?
Oh, we're waiting for them to get back to us right now. Just 4793. And ground American 1794, just want to confirm that we're not holding short of Charlie 9.
American 1794, go on in, see ya.
Alright, thank you. Copy that.
So that was them asking permission.
Not sure that was us. Short charge 6, we're going in after them. We're clearing into gas for 793.
I look for American 48 to Bravo after company up to for the Charlie 6. Good 4793, copy, go on in, see ya.
Bye, good night, thanks.
That was 5066, monitor tower on 2095.
No, 2095.
That was us, 48 Bravo.
49 Bravo.
Oh, excuse me, 49 Bravo.
I'm just making sure that you heard me. Continue Charlie to parking now.
That's it, 49 Bravo, Charlie to parking. Straight shot.
4 past the top of the hour. Taxi Charlie 4 Charlie and hold short of Charlie 3.
Charlie 4, Charlie, hold short, Charlie 3. Copy the wheels of American 20.
Well, hello there, big boy. Look at that. That one's going for takeoff.
LA ground, only 25 right. Taxi
Nice.
via Charlie 4. Make that Charlie 3. Charlie 2 Bravo. That makes 2785. Hold short of Charlie 4 for traffic.
I'm short Charlie 4 for traffic now, American 2785.
Get Blue 101, turn right on Charlie to parking.
Charlie to parking, Jeff, Blue 101.
American 2785, wait for the CR data pass off your left and then continue Charlie 4, Charlie short of Charlie 3.
Alright, after the CRG passes Charlie 4, Charlie hold short, Charlie 3, American 2785.
It's already nice and cool in here. I don't need APU bleed air.
Just the 101, looks like you're on Bravo. Taxi Charlie 9 Charlie to parking.
Charlie 9 Charlie to parking, Jeff, Blue 101. Ground Skyline 4, 888 to checkpoint 2 to taxi to 52 Golf. That was 4888, ground Bravo to parking. Bravo to parking. That was 4888. Shot 325, ground information, positive current, runway 25 left, taxi via Alpha, hold short, taxiway Foxtrot. 25 left, taxi Alpha, hold short, Foxtrot, fixed at 325. On the ground, code 6517 to up the box, Papa. That was 6517 to Denver, was it? Affirmative, 6517. That was 6517, runway 25 right. Turn right on Charlie, disregard that. Left on Charlie 4 and Bravo, going Bravo behind Swift. Alright, Charlie 4, Bravo behind the Swift, 25 right, go 6517. Good afternoon, Triple 194, down to Charlie 943, information Bravo, ready for push. Sinfeng 194, they're going at Charlie 1, push on Charlie with your tail to the left for runway 25 right. That's Charlie 1, Charlie tail west for 25 right from 194. Got 4905, monitor tower 120.95. This is 41, monitor tower 120.95. Surface is 41 gold 120.95. Yeah, signature apron and request taxi. Swiss Air 41 Golf, monitor tower 120.95. 120.95, Papa, Swiss 41 Golf. Extract 325, hold for the taxiway Foxtrot, monitor tower 120.95. Ultra Foxtrot, monitor tower 209.5, that was 6515, monitor tower 120.95. 6517, get it. And for Oscar Kilo Victor, Oscar Sear, did you say you're out of signature ready to taxi? Affirmative, Oscar Kilo Victor, Oscar Sierra. Victor Oscar Sierra, runway 25 right. Taxi up to and hold short of taxiway. Also call me when you get there.
Okay, call you before Alpha and 25 right, Oscar Sierra.
LA ground, this is American 46 Charlie at the top of Charlie 9 for Charlie 17.
American 46 Charlie, proceed via Charlie.
Via Charlie, American 46 Charlie.
There's 2397, ground Bravo to parking.
Bravo to parking, United 2397. Oscar Kilo Victor Oscar Sierra, hold short of Alpha.
Victor Oscar Sierra, taxi straight ahead and at golf, hold short of runway 25 left.
Taxiway go, hold short of 25 left, Oscar Sierra.
See that? That's the H Hotel. I hear they got some really nice spotting up there. There's a big old balcony that you can stand up there. You can spot airplanes on this side of the runway. It's pretty cool. Heard it's a nice hotel. Haven't stayed there yet.
Cradle is 193, we're at Charlie 7 with Papa.
Left for 193, on the ground, runway 24 left, taxi via Charlie, November, Northern.
Charlie November Northern to Alaska, 193.
All right, we are all done. Hydraulics off, anti-collision off. Let's see now, emergency lights off. This one's pretty simple. Adders are off. That's. Oh, don't cry. I can turn all that off. We don't need that. And turn the fuel pump off as well. Just wait a couple of about 20-30 seconds and turn off the battery, which is that main ship battery. You can actually watch the EGT slowly go away once it shuts down. Good night. Folks, we have come to the end of our adventure, and that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you always so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching and leaving all your beautiful comments and questions. We'll leave you with this beautiful takeoff in one of our 321 Neos, and I will see you on the next adventure. Stig, signing out. Later!